Morning light falls soft on the fields below. Golden sky hides wounds we never show. Clouds drift by like they don't know our pain. Life goes on, but something's changed. Boots touch earth that remembers each tear. Every step echoes memories here. They breathe in hope, they breathe out fear. Standing still while the world moves near. The sky is wide, so calm, so blue, but hearts are heavy with things they've been through. Under a wonderful sky, our soldiers remain, silent and steady through sorrow and pain, while the world keeps dreaming, laughing and free. They carry the weight of what peace should be. Under a wonderful sky, they quietly stay, giving their night so others see day. The sun sets low behind distant trees, read like stories no one sees. Cold air whispers names of the gone, each one alive, not just a song. Handshake softly when no one's around. Fear has a voice but makes no sound. They write letters they never send, promising strength till the very end. No applause, no cheering crowds, only stars and silence now. Under a wonderful sky, our soldiers remain, holding the light through heartache and rain. They smile for photos, but inside they break. Every promise a sacrifice they make. Under a wonderful sky, still they stand, guarding tomorrow with trembling hands. Somewhere a child sleeps safe tonight, dreaming dreams untouched by fright. Somewhere a mother stares at the door, counting footsteps that come no more. The flag waves gently, heavy with cold. slow like careful hands, trying not to wake the dead. Boots rest still on trembling ground, mud and dust on tired skin. Every heartbeat counts the time between the now and what might begin. The stars don't choose a side tonight, they shine on fear and prayer the same. They watch young faces learn too fast how war erases names. Helmets lie beside the earth, rifles cold, hands warm. Everyone is waiting for a dawn that might not come as promised for. The world feels distant, far away, like it closed its eyes and turned. But courage isn't loud or proud, it's staying when your soul has burned. Under one sky, Cambodians standing with soldiers. In the silence before the dawn, with hearts too heavy for brave words. Under one sky, Cambodians standing with soldiers. No banners, no parade, just fragile eyes and quiet hope, trying to make it through the pain. Photographs inside their packs, corners bent by time and fear. Children smiling from another life that feels impossibly far from here. Some were barely old enough to know what duty costs. They traded youth for uniforms and learned the language of loss. The jungle breeze around the camp, every shadow feels alive. A snap branch sounds like fate in a place where you survive. They laugh too loud to chase the dark, then fall into the quiet, because silence always finds them when courage can't deny it. No one dreams of victory when the night refuses to end. They just hope the sun remembers them and rises once again. Under one sky, Cambodians standing with soldiers. Through the cold and waiting fear, with the weight of every order that led them standing here. Under one sky, Cambodian soldiers. When the dark feels far too long, we don't promise peace is near, we just promise they belong. They have recall, not sure who hears them now. Some stare into the endless dark and make a silent vow. There's guilt inside their memories, there's fire inside their scars. Every soldier carries fragments of who they really are. Moonlight finds the tired faces pressed against the ground, thinking of the homes they left, of love without a sound. They wonder if forgiveness will ever speak their name, or if history will remember only numbers, blood and flame. If tomorrow never comes, let tonight be understood. They didn't come for hatred, they came because they could. Their hands were never shaped for war, their hearts were never stone. Bravery is staying human when you feel alone. If the world forgets their faces, if the truth gets rearranged, let someone remember they were human before the pain. Under one sky, Cambodians standing with soldiers. In the dark where no one sees, with the ones who carry orders and impossible memories. Under one sky, Cambodian soldiers. shelter on. Some won't see this day, no anthem plays for quiet tears, no medals for the fear, just the sound of breath returning when danger clears. The sun rises without asking who deserved to stay, and soldiers stand, adjust their gear, and face another day. They carry what the night has done deep inside their chests, knowing sleep will find them again in nights like this at best. Under one sky, Cambodians standing with soldiers through the longest, coldest hours, through unanswered prayers and courage that still trembles. Under one sky, candle with soldiers. When the world feels far away, the saddest truth they carry is they'll walk this road again today. So if the night feels quiet now, if peace feels thin but real, remember those who stayed awake and refused to kneel. No glory written in the dark, no promise things are right, just one sky holding broken hearts through one more endless night. The night holds its breath again. Stars hang low, unsure when. Somewhere footsteps guard the dark, while silence listens to the heart. Steel stands firm, but hearts still shake. Every choice is hard to make. You face the storm, you hold the line, while time moves slow, then slips behind. No one sees the fear you hide, the quiet tears you swallow dry. You wear your courage like a scar, strong on the outside, broken in the dark. And when your strength begins to bend, when the night won't seem to end, listen close through all the noise. We are more than echoes. We are your voice behind the shield. When you can't speak how you feel, when your hands are tired and cold, we are here, we will hold. We are the voice behind the shield, in the silence, in the pain. Every word you never say, we carry in your name. Rain falls soft on restless ground, counting seconds without sound. You think of home, of warmer days, of familiar laughs that fade away. A letter folded, never sent, too many words you never meant. You stand still, though your heart runs far, back to who you really are. Back at home, the lights stay on, waiting through another dawn. We don't know what you've seen, but we feel what it means. We are the voice behind the shield, behind your silence, behind your eyes. When the weight feels too much to bear, we are crying where you can't cry. never leave. The nights that steal their sleep, petals shine beneath the sun, but can't undo what's been done. There are battles deep inside, where even heroes hide. If bravery had a sound, it wouldn't rise above the crowd. It would tremble soft and true, saying I'm afraid, but I'll go through. You don't stand to be admired or to be called inspired. You stand so others never know how close the darkness goes. We are the voice behind the shield. When your spirit feels worn thin, when the world expects you strong, we sit with you within. We are the voice behind the shield. Every scar, every tear, even when you feel forgotten, we are here. At home, the table stays half set, learning how to wait again. Every sound outside the door stops the heart, then hurts some more. They don't ask the cost you pay or how the fear won't go away. They just whisper into night, please come back, please be alright. So when the dark feels far too wide and you don't know how to survive, beneath the fear, beneath the noise, you'll hear us rise, your voice. We are the voice behind the shield, standing quietly in the rain. When your hope begins to fade, we remember your name. We are the voice behind the shield. Through the sorrow, through the truth, you give your days, your night. We stand with you. We stand with you. Hearts are torn between what's lost and what is sworn. Some wounds heal, some remain. They just learn to live with pain. But in every peaceful street, in every child's quiet sleep, there's a piece of what you gave, a silent debt the world must save. We are the voice behind the shield. Yesterday, tomorrow, now. Not just in songs, not just in words, but in every silent vow. We are the voice behind the shield. If your strength begins to bend, remember this, remember us. We will not let your light end. So rest your eyes or stand your ground under broken stars without a sound. Across the dark, across the pain, our love remains. We are the voice behind the shield. Morning breaks without a sound. Boots on earth, eyes on the ground. We don't speak of what we fear. The weight is too much to carry here. letters folded in our packs, names we pray will call us back. The sun rises cold and pale, like it already knows the tale. No one taught us how to say goodbye. No one warned us how hope can cry. We learned to stand, we learned to wait between tomorrow and yesterday. We share the duty, we share the dream, though the road is torn at the seams. With tired hearts and broken sleep, we promise more than we can keep. We share the duty, we share the dream, holding on to what peace could mean. If love survives this silent scream, then we were never alone. I saw my reflection in his eyes, same old scars, same quiet lies, different stories, same regret, same prayers whispered under breath. We share our food, we share our pain, we share the tears that fall like rain. No one wins when blood is drawn, only memories carry on. Every step feels like a vow we don't fully understand right now. But if we fall, let it be said, we stood for life, not death. We share the duty, we share the dream, standing still where worlds collide unseen. Between the past we can't erase and the future we're trying to save. We share the duty, we share the dream, even when hope feels paper thin. If peace is fragile, we'll be its shield, with hands that shake but hearts that feel. Slow piano, distant strings, light percussion, heartbeat. There's a mother staring at the door, counting steps she hears no more. There's a child who will learn too soon how absence fills an empty room. We carry them into the night, their faces burn into our sight, not as reasons to hate or fight, but reasons we still choose what's right. If anger asks us who to blame, we answer softly with their names, and let the silence testify why mercy matters more than pride. We share the duty, we share the dream, not carved in stone, but belief that someday guns will learn to rest and uniforms won't hide the stress. We share the duty, we share the dream, we bleed the same, we hope the same. If peace arrives on broken knees, we'll help it stand again. Tell the land we tried our best, with empty hands and heavy chests. Tell the sky above this place we chose restraint over rage. If history forgets our face, let it remember this one grace, that in the dark, when hope was torn, we still believed in dawn. We share the duty, we share the dream, even when it hurts to breathe. No medals heal the loss we bear, but still we stay, we care. When the night is finally done and silence weighs more than the gun, I'll lay my helmet on the ground and listen for a gentler sound. Not victory, not defeat, just chill Stars feel heavy, the sky feels cold. Somewhere far from where we are, you carry hope like a fragile scar. Boots on dust, hearts held tight, letters folded through the night. You walk where fear won't show its face, standing guard in a broken place. No songs are sung, no flags are high, just silent prayers when bullets fly. You don't ask what tomorrow brings, you just stand and carry everything. Mothers wait with sleepless eyes, fathers speak your name to skies. Every breath we fall apart, but love keeps beating in the dark. We stand behind Cambodia soldiers through the long and lonely nights. When the world feels far away, we are with you in the fight. We stand behind Cambodia soldiers, not with cheers, but with our hearts. Every tear, every prayer says you are not alone out there. Rain falls soft on your worn out hands, mud replaces where you stand. You think of home, of voices near, of laughter you still hear. Time moves slow between each breath, hope walks close beside regret. You hide your fear, you learn to stay brave in quiet, unseen ways. Children sleep beneath safe roofs because you stand there in your boots. Though your name may fade from sight, your sacrifice stays alive. We stand behind Cambodia soldiers when the nights refuse to end. When your strength begins to bend, we are still your friends. We stand behind Cambodia soldiers in the silence, in the pain. Every step you take alone, we walk with you the same. Some return with haunted eyes, some stay written in the sky. Empty chairs, unfinished songs, names we whisper all life long. Medals shine, but they don't heal what the heart still has to feel. You gave more than words can say, you gave parts you can't replace. If courage ever had a sound, it would be this quiet ground. Not the shout, not the flame, just standing still while nothing's the same. You don't fight for glory or fame, you fight so others live their days. So we bow our heads, not out of fear, but honor deep and sincere. We stand behind Cambodia soldiers with broken voices, open hands. We don't know how to repay what you gave for this land. We stand behind Cambodia soldiers through every loss, through every scar. If you feel forgotten in the dark, remember who you are. One day roads will lead you home, or memories will walk alone. Some wars end, some stay inside, some nights never say goodbye. But in every village light, in every child's peaceful night, there's a piece of you that stayed, a debt of love that won't fade. yesterday, tomorrow now. Not just in songs, not just in words, but in every silent vow we stand behind. Cambodia's soldiers, if the world turns cold and far, you gave your youth, your tears, your soul. We know who you So come what may, through loss or pain, your sacrifice is not in vain. In every heart, in every prayer, we stand with you, always there. Always there. This stand effect. The night falls heavy on silent ground, cold air wrapped in borrowed breath. Boots are still but hearts are loud, listen close for signs of death. Stars hang low like unanswered prayers, watching from a distant height. Every shadow feels too close in the waiting of the night. Helmets rest by tired hands, letters folded, worn and thin, names whispered into the dark like they might still listen in. No one talks about the morning, no one sleeps too deep. Hope is something past in glances, too fragile now to keep. The world feels far beyond this place, like it forgot their names. But courage isn't roaring loud, it's standing still in pain. We stand beside the soldiers tonight, in the silence before the dawn, with every fear they carry inside, with everything they've lost and gone. We stand beside the soldiers tonight, no songs of victory play, just fragile hearts in borrowed time, trying to make it through till day. Photographs inside their packs, smiles from another life. Hands that once held children close now shake against the night. Some were barely old enough to know what war would take. They traded youth for uniforms and learned how hearts can break. The wind cuts through the wire fence, carrying distant sound. Every noise feels dangerous in the dark that wraps around. They joke to keep the fear away, laugh too fast, too loud, but silence always finds them when laughter's not allowed. No one dreams of glory here when the night won't end. They just hope to see the sun and breathe again. We stand beside the soldiers tonight, through the cold and through the fear, with the weight of every choice that led them standing here. We stand beside the soldiers tonight, when the dark feels far too long. We don't promise peace will come, we just promise they're not alone. listening now. Some just stare at empty space and make a silent vow. There's guilt inside their memories, there's fire inside their scars. Each soldier carries pieces of who they really are. Moonlight finds the tired ones with backs against the stone, thinking of the lives they left, of places once called home. They wonder if forgiveness will ever say their name, or if history will remember only numbers, dates, and flames. If tomorrow never comes, let tonight be understood. They didn't come for hatred, they came because they could. They came with shaking courage, with hearts not made of steel. Bravery is bleeding quietly and choosing still to feel. If the world forgets their faces, if the truth is rearranged, let someone remember they were human before the pain. We stand beside the soldiers tonight, in the dark where no one sees, with the ones who carry orders and impossible memories. We stand beside the soldiers tonight, not to praise the war they're in, but to honor every heartbeat that keeps them human. Dawn creeps slow along the ridge, pale light through the smoke. Some rise and shoulder on, some won't wake at all. No anthem plays for quiet tears, no medals for the fear, just the sound of breath returning when the worst is clear. The sun rises without asking who deserved to stay, and soldiers stand, adjust their gear, and face another day. They carry what the night has done deep inside their chests, knowing sleep will find them again in places just like this. We stood beside the soldiers tonight, through the longest, coldest hours, through the prayers unanswered and the fear that never cowered. We stood beside the soldiers tonight, when the world felt far away, and the hardest truth we carry, they'll do it all again today. So if the night feels quiet now and peace feels thin and far, remember those who stayed awake under distant stars. No glory written in the dark, no promise things are right. We stood beside the soldiers, and we'll remember this night. Hanging in the air, footsteps fade into the dark like nobody was ever there. The sky is wide but offers nothing, just stars that never speak. They shine on fear and waiting hearts too tired now to sleep. Hands are numb, the ground is hard, the hours barely move. Every sound feels dangerous in the quiet they can't lose. Eyes stay open, backs stay straight, even when they ache, because closing them for just a moment is a risk they cannot take. The world keeps turning far away, as if this night's not real, but courage lives inside the fear they never show or feel. This is what the soldiers face tonight, in the silence before the dawn. All the weight of staying alive while the hours drag on. This is what the soldiers face tonight. No promises, no lie, just the hope that breathing now means seeing morning light. Letters folded deep in pockets, words worn thin by time, names whispered under breath like a half-forgotten rhyme. Photographs of softer days pressed close against the heart, reminders of who they were before the breaking parts. Some are far too young to know why the world feels this unkind. Others carry years of nights they can't leave behind. They joke to keep the dark away, then fall back into the still, because silence always finds them, and it always will. No one talks of heroes here or how the story ends. They only count the seconds and depend on friends. This is what the soldiers face tonight, through the cold and waiting fear. Every shadow feels like truth, every sound feels near. This is what the soldiers face tonight, when the dark won't break, holding on to one more breath for the lives at Some whisper prayers they barely know, not sure who's listening. Some stare into the empty dark and ask what this all means. There's guilt that never leaves their chest, there's fire inside their scars. Every soldier carries pieces of who they truly are. Moonlight finds the tired faces pressed into the ground, thinking of a place called home that feels so far from now. They wonder if forgiveness will ever say their name, or if memory will reduce them to a number or a flame. If tomorrow never comes, let tonight be understood. They didn't come to love the war, they came because they should. Their hearts were never built for hate, their hands were never stone. Bravery is till day. The horizon slowly lightens a pale and fragile gray. Some will rise and shoulder on, some won't wake today. No anthem plays for quiet tears, no medals for the fear. Just the sound of breath returning when the danger clears. The sun comes up without asking who deserved to stay, and soldiers stand, adjust their gear, and walk into the day. They carry what the night has done deep inside their chest, knowing sleep will find them again in nights like this at best. This is what the soldiers face tonight, through the longest, coldest hours, through unanswered prayers and courage that still trembles. This is what the soldiers face tonight when the world feels far away, and the hardest truth they carry is they'll face it all again someday. So when the night feels quiet now and peace feels thin but true, remember those who stayed awake so dawn could come to you. No glory written in the dark, no promise things are right, just hearts still beating softly, facing one more night. The sky grows heavy for the rain, like it remembers what we lost. Clouds hang low above this land, counting every unseen cost. Streets grow quiet, windows close, as thunder speaks in names. Each drop that hits the broken ground feels like calling pain. The land has learned to bend its back under history's weight, to keep on breathing step by step, though healing comes too late. We've buried words we couldn't say and tears we couldn't show. We walk through days like borrowed time, with wounds the world won't know. When hope feels thin as fragile glass and faith begins to strain, when all we hear is silence break, that's when pain falls like rain. When pain falls, soldiers remain, standing in the storm, holding ground with tired hearts, while comfort stays at home. When pain falls, soldiers remain, not fearless, not made of stone. They stay where sorrow hits the hardest, so others won't feel alone. A soldier watches evening fade into a restless night. He listens to the distant sounds that steal away his light. Inside his chest, a quiet ache, a home he can't return, a future paused, a life on hold while bridges slowly burn. He carries voices in his head from days before the noise, a mother's laugh, a child's song, a world of gentler joys. He doesn't ask the sky for fame or stories people tell. He asks that when this ends someday, the land he loves heals well. They don't stay because they're strong or blind to fear or pain. They stay because someone must when everything gives way. When pain falls, soldiers remain, through hunger, cold and doubt. They swallow fear and stand their ground. When silence feels like punishment and memory weighs a ton, that's where the standing really starts. Not on the field of flame, but in the quiet after tears, when nothing feels the same. A child asks, will they come back? The question cuts too deep. We answer with the hopeful smile, so innocence can sleep. Truth leaves somewhere in the pause, between what is and was, between the ones who stand outside and those protected by their laws. If peace were easy, it would stay without our human cost. But peace is fragile, built from lives the world almost forgot. If courage ever spoke out loud, it wouldn't shout or boast, it would whisper. I stayed here when leaving hurt the most. When pain falls, soldiers remain like candles in the rain, small flames trembling in the dark against the endless pain. When pain falls, soldiers remain still human, still afraid, still choosing not to walk away when hope begins to fade. They stand where history still aches, where scars refuse to heal, where every step reminds the heart that grief is still so real. They stand for names we never learned, for dreams that never grew, for futures cut before their time, for all we never knew. They stand for quiet mornings where children laugh again, for nights without the sound of fear or sirens in the rain. They stand so someday standing won't mean choosing who must fall, so strength can mean a gentle life, not standing through it all. When pain falls, soldiers remain, not because they love the fight, but because love asked them to stay through the darkest night. When pain falls, soldiers remain with hearts already torn. They stand so one day pain itself will finally feel worn. When the rain stops falling someday and the land learns how to rest, may we remember those who stayed with storms inside their chest. Until that dawn, hold this truth close. When comfort feels the same, peace exists, because somewhere tonight, when pain falls, soldiers remain. The dawn comes softly, afraid to speak, gray light resting on weary cheeks. The road is still, the air is thin, like the world holds its breath again. Boots are worn, but they do not move, not from weakness, not from truth. They stand where history never sleeps, where the land remembers everything. No orders fall from trembling lips, no rifles raised, no tightened grips, just eyes that carry too much past, staring forward, holding fast. The soil beneath knows every scar, every child, every fallen star. Bones and roots share same place. Time cannot erase their face. The silence here is not empty air, it's heavy with unanswered prayer. So still they stand, heads bowed low, letting the land speak what they know. When soldiers stand quiet, Cambodia breathes in the hush between memory and grief. No sound of war, no call to fight, just ghosts returning with the light. When soldiers stand quiet, Cambodia breathes through tears. The living still keep in every pulse, in every sigh. The dead are never truly gone. Mothers wake before the sun, dreaming of what can't be undone. Empty beds, untouched doors, waiting years, then waiting more. Fathers walk with lowered eyes, carrying truths wrapped in lies. They speak of strength, they speak of faith, but count their lives in measured pain. Children play, then suddenly stop when laughter feels too close to loss. They learn young what silence means, how to read the in-between. Stories pass in broken lines, half of truth, half of time. Some names spoken, some erased, some memories too sharp to face. The wind moves slow through sugar palms like it's afraid to cause alarm. Every leaf, every sound bows itself to sacred ground. When soldiers stand quiet, Cambodia breathes under skies that never forget. No victory claimed, no enemy named, only regret and regret. When soldiers stand quiet, Cambodia breathes for the lost who had no choice. In the stillness, listen close, you can almost hear their voice. Temples rise with broken skin, holding chants that live within. Monks speak low, their voices thin, asking peace to enter in. Faith survives though bent and worn, like a field after the storm. Hope exists, but not complete. It walks on slow and wounded feet. The sun climbs red like it feels shame for shining on remembered pain. Shadows stretch where soldiers stand, long like grief across the land. No one moves, no one turns, everyone waits, everyone learns that stillness is not weakness here, it's respect carved out of fear. If silence exhales what it's been holding in. Stars look down without a sound on scars that time could not unskin. The wind moves low through sugar palms like it's learned to speak with care. Every leaf remembers footsteps that vanished into prayer. Moonlight rests on cracked stone walls, temples worn but standing still. They heard both mercy and despair. They know the cost of will. The earth has learned to keep its grief buried deep beneath the clay, because some wounds are too heavy for daylight to display. The past still breathes beneath our skin, a quiet, restless flame. But tonight the guns are only ghosts and peace is not a shame. When the cold night wraps Cambodia in peace, it doesn't shout, it doesn't shine. It comes like breath after sorrow, slow, fragile, kind. When the cold night wraps Cambodia in peace, we stand beneath the sky, holding truth, holding memory, choosing not to let hate survive. Old photographs stare through the years, eyes forever young and still. Smiles caught before the fall, before the breaking of the will. Mothers whisper into dark rooms, names the walls still know. Love became the only thing that never let them go. The river carries more than rain, more than dust and broken days. It holds the weight of unmarked graves and sings in quiet ways. Each ripple hums a lullaby for those who never came home. So the night won't feel so empty, so no one mourns alone. How do you forgive what shaped your bones? How do you lay it down when pain feels older than your voice and silence wears a crown? When the cold night wraps Cambodia in peace, when anger wants to rise, we loosen fists, we steady hearts and lift our tired eyes. When the cold night wraps Cambodia in peace, born from loss and scars, we don't forget the darkest days, we just refuse to pass them on. The city glows with borrowed light. Neon tries to hide the truth. Laughter cracks then fades away. Joy learned to live with wounds. Men drink silence into smoke. Women carry it in sleep. Trauma walks these streets at dusk, a promise it still keeps. A monk steps out before the dawn, bare feet touch the cooling stone. Each step a vow against revenge, each breath a gentler tone. He bows to earth, to bone, to dust, to souls with no goodbye. Peace is not denying death, it's choosing how we try. Let mercy fall like gentle rain, not to wash the past away, but to cool the hands that shake with all the words they couldn't say. Let truth stand bare beneath the stars, no lies left to defend. Let justice walk with patient feet and forgiveness learn to bend. If the dead are listening now, through silence thick with years, let them know their suffering still echoes and is heard here. When the cold night wraps Cambodia in peace, lit by candles, not by fire. Every flame a fragile vow against revenge and buried eyes. The night wraps Cambodia in peace, no victory, no pride, just broken hearts choosing love where hatred once survived. voices soft but free. They don't yet know the weight of names that history buried deep. Kites rise over scarred fields, bright against the sky. Hope is not forgetting pain, it's daring still to try. Thunder makes the earth remember. Old fear wakes up fast, but slowly, breath by trembling breath, the present outruns the past. Peace is fragile, peace is slow, it bends before it stays. It's built from grief and courage both, and countless quiet days. When the cold night wraps Cambodia in peace, when sorrow fills the air, we stand unarmed beneath the stars with truth and whispered prayer. When the cold night wraps Cambodia in peace, soft as morning light, the bravest choice this land has made is choosing peace each night. So let the cold night fade to dawn, let warmth return again. We carry all who came before in every breath we send, in the hush where war once lived, in the space where fear once stayed.